Dan here, and today I felt like I absolutely need to make this video today because here are some of the problems that I'm seeing and that I personally actually had issues with when I was starting out selling on Amazon FBA. And these are definitely some of the most common problems that new sellers face that will, without a doubt, absolutely kill your product if you are not careful and if you don't know what to expect, if you don't know the problems here. All right. So there are certain problems that I just keep seeing over and over and over again. And if you knew these problems, you wouldn't be investing into products that are seasonal or products that are patented or trademarked. You'd be putting up an amazing listing, you'd be putting up incredible pictures, things like that. You'd be really working on your keywords. I think this all stems from a lack of effort and a lack of investing into, for example, a course or something like that. People that are trying to figure everything out on their own. And in my opinion, you absolutely need a mentor. You need someone who is ahead of you in what you want to achieve. So someone who's down the road, who's already gone through all the obstacles and all the failures to get to where they are today. So trust me on this, with anything in life, you need a mentor. Okay, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find a mentor. But obviously in 2018 nowadays, it's awesome because there are all these courses available, and you can have access to all these mentors. So that's one of the ways to do it. So these are all avoidable, and now that you will know them, there is literally no reason you should be making these mistakes, and you'll know exactly how to deal with the problems head on. All right. So the very, very first problem that new sellers face that kill their first product is, so for example, they find the product, they finally found the golden product, and then they contact the supplier. And then the supplier, tells them, okay, it's like a 20-day lead time or a 25-day lead time. So basically, they invest into the product. They've already checked if it sells well. They've tracked it. They did all their product research and did all the research and things like that. Google Trends, seasonality, everything. Maybe they're not even doing that, which we'll talk about in a second. But they've researched it. They've committed, and now you've taken the first step. Awesome. However, the manufacturer tells you, it's going to take 20 days to manufacture and to actually make the product. And obviously, the factory has to make it. They never have it ready, especially if you need to have your own logo on the product. So a common problem that new sellers face is by the time the product actually gets in, the demand has already gone down. And so, the numbers in Jungle Scout, by the time the product gets in, they're significantly lower. Now, this is possible with new competition coming in. And by the way, to answer the age-old question of, how do I know if other people are not looking at my product? Guys, there are 7 billion people in the world. Someone is looking at your product right now, and people are investing into your product right now. It's up to you to convince the customer to buy from you and not from them. And obviously, watching these videos, watching me and other YouTubers, and really putting in the effort here and taking courses, that is going to propel you forward, and that is going to separate you from all the novices and the people that aren't really putting in any effort. So you're going to maximize your chances of really destroying your competition. And guys, it's really not hard. Most 99% of sellers on Amazon don't know what they're doing. They're most likely Chinese. You can tell by the Chinese factories themselves trying to sell online. So you can tell by the bullet points and things like that. Like the English is not so good. So so basically, if competition actually comes in, and let's say you've tried your best, you've made an amazing listing, amazing PPC, amazing keywords, everything looks amazing. Your listing just looks top notch, and it has amazing branding, has a logo, and it's still not selling. Here are some of the things that I would recommend you do. If your product has reviews, the golden number is 7, by the way. If your product has 7 reviews, and I'd recommend them to be verified. So, the people that are reviewing them, however you're getting the reviews, they should actually be buying your product, and then, you can reimburse them through PayPal. I talk about this in the course, in the Amazon Freedom course, link below, and in a couple other videos on how to get reviews. So you can reimburse them, and then basically they wait for the product to come, and then they leave a review. So that's going to get you to 7 verified reviews. Once you have that, you can launch PPC. You can actually launch it at 5 reviews, and then PPC is going to help you rank, but you're still going to be on like page 20 or page 9 or something like that. And if you're on page 9, you're just not going to get sales until you launch the product. So you need to make sure, you need to understand that nothing's going to happen until you actually put an effort to launch the product and get on page 1. So the 2 best ways to launch your product and actually get on page 1, right? Because I think that this will solve your issue of not selling. Even if it's a competitive niche, if your listing looks amazing, if everything is great, the pictures are great, the PPC is great, the keywords are great, and also the price, by the way, very important, which I'm going to get to in a second. If you're on page 1 and you're not selling, that's most likely the price. So the 2 best ways to launch, the very first one is to run 97% off coupon giveaways in Facebook review groups. So I talk about Facebook review groups on this channel, and I cover this obviously specifically in the Amazon Freedom course in depth. The link for that is below, where you get me as a mentor as well. You'll be able to ask me questions and get my opinion on products. You'll have access to my Facebook chat, and I always respond on there within the day. So in these Facebook review groups, they're called like FBA deals and reviews. You can just search it up on Facebook. You run a 97% off coupon giveaway. You want to give away more than your competitors at the bottom of the first page are selling a day. So, if the competitors are selling 10 a day, so 300 sales a month, that means 10 a day. You want to give away, 20 a day or 15 a day for 4 days, 3 to 4 days. Usually, before it was 3, now I recommend 3 to 4 days. All right. So that's up to you. You can even do 5 days. And you can find and you can hustle to find people to give away your product yourself through these Facebook review groups, or you can just outsource it completely to a service like Viral Launch. And Viral Launch, I've used them in the past and they're amazing. You pay them about $400 and they do all the work for you. If you're not interested in spending all that time trying to do it yourself, and they'll rank you on page 1, you'll get sales. So that right there is going to solve like 98% of people's issues with demand dying off and competition coming in. You're just not launching your product. Get on page 1, you will sell, and at least you will sell out. If it's too competitive, then you just won't reorder your next product order, and you still would have made money. If you're on page 1 and it's still not selling, there's just not enough demand, like literally, no one's buying in your niche, then the best thing I would recommend doing is put your price right above your break-even price. If you're selling at $25, your break-even price is $15, put it at like $17. Someone's going to buy it. Eventually, it's going to sell because it's so cheap, right? You're literally making almost no money. You're going to make your money back and some profit. But, you're just trying to do that to get rid of it. So there you go. And then, eventually you'll find that winning product that is selling super well. You follow the whole process. You ranked on the first page and you're getting 30, 40, 50 sales a day. And now you're making 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 a month. So, you just got to get through your failures. You just got to get through the products that aren't making you money to get to the gold. Now, another way to deal with competition is to make sure that you have a logo on your actual product. You don't want to make your product look like it's straight from Alibaba, right? Just have a logo on your product. Even if it's, if it's the same design as Alibaba, obviously it probably is. Just make sure you got a logo on there, brand it super nicely, and you'll be good to go. So number 2, listing gets pulled down due to restriction or copyright. Super preventable. If it's a restriction, your product is restricted, all you have to do, before you invest, go look at the restricted products list on Amazon. You can just Google it. And if your product is there, the one that you're thinking of investing in, don't do the product. And if it's not on there, I would recommend even calling Amazon, call seller support, and then ask them, give them competitors' ASINs, and then ask them if you're able to fulfill your product, which is the same, through fulfillment by Amazon. They'll be able to tell you if it's restricted or not. Now, if the listing gets pulled down for a copyright, that's probably your competitor. It could be your competitor. Sometimes that happens on Amazon. And so basically, just don't use their exact same pictures. Most likely it's the pictures. Don't use their exact same pictures. Take your own pictures and get professional pictures done. Super easy and super worth the price. So number 3, hijackers, right? So suddenly, you're selling super well and suddenly one day you're not selling any. Go on your listing and check who has the buy box. Check what it says, like sold by, and then check if that's you. If that's not you, you need to go ahead and send them a cease and desist letter. I cover hijackers in the Amazon Freedom course, and I also include a cease and desist letter that you can send them, and usually that will scare them off. And if it doesn't scare them off, you can just go ahead and call Amazon and ask to file a copyright claim. Or you can just email copyright@amazon.com, and then it'll give you instructions on how to get rid of them from your listing. Number 4, ordering too little units. This is a huge mistake. Ordering, 250, 350 units, if you're careful, if you want to be careful because you're not really sure if it's going to sell, that is okay, if the demand isn't crazy. But if you're seeing the competitors that you want to compete against, they're selling like 50 a day, and you only order 250, and, awesome. Best case scenario, you're selling 50 a day, you're selling as much as them. You're going to run out of stock in 5 days. And that's not even including the giveaways, the units that you gave away to launch your product, either through Viral Launch, the service, or yourself through the Facebook review groups. So, make sure that you're ordering, let's say you want to do a 300 unit test order. I would recommend adding on 50 or even 100 for the giveaways. That way you'll at least have some for giveaways. And, you could even do like a 500 or 1,000 unit order if you're confident that it will sell. Obviously, risk versus reward, right? Because if you're going to be out of stock for 3 weeks, Amazon's going to penalize you and they're going to reduce your product. It's going to make it go from page 1 to like page 7 or something. And if you're lucky, maybe to like page 3, you're going to have to redo the whole launch and redo the giveaway and redo the viral launch. All right. So be mindful of that. Number 5, terrible pictures and bullet points. Super important. Make sure that you have amazing pictures. I mean, this can't be hard to do. If you can't take good pictures, just hire a photographer, go on Craigslist, hire like a local college kid with a nice camera and just get them to take a couple pictures. Or you can go on Upwork or Fiverr, find a photographer on there, and they usually actually have models. So, if it's like a beauty product or something like that, I would recommend models. Here's a guideline for pictures: 2 on a white background, 2 action shots, and then 2 with the packaging. That's what I'd recommend. And make sure your bullet points are actually captivating and they're not very generic, not like high quality or whatever. Everybody has that. Make sure you actually make an impact with the bullet points and hypnotize your customer. Number 6, wrong and irrelevant keywords. Now, with keywords, you want to make sure that every single keyword you've got in there is super relevant, all right? Because if it's not relevant, Amazon's going to index you under that other product, and people are going to be searching that, and it's not what they want. So they're not going to be buying your product, all right? So you want to make sure that when you're doing your keyword research, go ahead and make sure to take out all the wrong and irrelevant stuff and just leave the stuff that actually pertains to your product. So these are the most common problems that new sellers face when selling on Amazon and their product gets in. Another thing that I didn't really cover in this is seasonality. If you find a product now and it's selling well because let's just say it's summer, and then by the time it gets in, this actually happened to me, it's already fall, and the product only sells during the summer. A great way to check that is Google Trends. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that right now. All right. GoogleTrends.com, and let's just say you want to sell a camping hammock, for example, right? So camping hammock, and you're going to go ahead and type in your marketplace you want to sell in, so United States, and then just do past 5 years, and then you'll be able to see clearly it is seasonal, because it's going up in June, it's going up in June and July every single year. In the summer, it goes down in the winter because not a lot of people buy camping hammocks in the winter, obviously. So that's a great way to check if the product is seasonal. So those are the most common problems that new sellers face when selling on Amazon. Now that you know them, you know exactly how to deal with them, and you should fear nothing. Don't be scared of anything. This stuff is online. Making money online isn't as hard as you think. It's actually much easier than working a 40-hour week job for the rest of your life. But all you gotta do is believe in yourself. Take calculated risk and learn from the best, by watching these videos, taking courses. If you guys are interested in the Amazon Freedom course, the link for that is below. It's my course, and you get me as a mentor. I'm like one of the only ones on YouTube that offers unlimited mentorship where you have access to me. So yeah, if you guys are interested, go ahead, check it out. Follow me on social media, Snapchat. I try to reply to everyone on Snapchat and Instagram. That stuff is below. And I want to hear your stories and anything to do with you getting into entrepreneurship, your goals, and your dreams. All right. So anyway, guys, once again, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll see you guys soon.